course I can spoil the perfection for you. This horror movie is literally about a love story between two musical prodigies in competition, but one of them has something evil planned out, because there's something even more evil going on behind closed doors of their music school. The perfection, full spoilers, here we go. The movie starts off with a girl named Charlotte, who used to be a musical prodigy who played the cello at a prestigious music school called Back Off before her mother became terminally ill and she had to care for her full time. But now her mother has passed away and she doesn't really seem that sad. Charlotte sees a billboard of Elizabeth Wells, who was basically her replacement in the new prodigy. Now that Charlotte's free from her mother, she calls the head of the academy, Anton, and travels all the way to Shanghai to meet him and his wife, his assistant, and Elizabeth, who goes by Lizzie, in order to select a new student to join Back Off's School of Music. Charlotte meets her replacement, Lizzie, who has unspeakable riz, and you can tell there's kind of a spark between the two mixed with some weird jealousy. After they play an amazing duet with each other, they go back to Lizzie's hotel room and have some smashing time. The next morning, Lizzie wakes up with a terrible hangover, so Charlotte offers her some ibuprofen. Lizzie's headache gets even worse, but she still invites Charlotte to go to rural China with her to have her days off. On the bus ride, Charlotte gives Lizzie even more headache medication, like a lot more than she should, and Lizzie wakes up screaming that her brain feels like it's burning. Lizzie yaks on the bus and bugs come out. Lizzie starts screaming that she's going to soil herself and tells Charlotte to tell the bus driver to stop the bus, and he's not happy about it. They get kicked off the bus and stranded in the middle of nowhere, and Lizzie starts becoming progressively sicker and a waterfall coming out of her bum bum. Then Lizzie starts seeing bugs crawling out of her skin. Charlotte randomly pulls a weapon out of nowhere and tells Lizzie that you have to make your hand go bye-bye. And Lizzie willingly makes her hand go bye-bye with the weapon. The movie then does a rewind and reveals that Charlotte actually was using the medication that was used on her mom before she passed away and gave it to Lizzie, which has serious side effects such as extreme hallucinations and yakking. So she basically manipulated Lizzie into obliterating her own hand. 3 weeks later, we see the head of the academy, Anton, giving their new student Zhang Li a tour of her new room at the music academy. That night, Lizzie unexpectedly arrives at the academy and Charlotte isn't there. She tells Anton she was discovered unconscious on the side of the road with Charlotte nowhere to be found, and that Charlotte did all of this out of jealousy. But Anton has zero sympathy and basically tells her to just leave because she's of no use anymore. Lizzie then personally travels to Charlotte and zaps her before forcing her to go in the trunk of her car and taking her back to the Back Off Academy. When Charlotte awakens, she is confronted by Anton and Lizzie. But then Charlotte starts explaining to Lizzie that the only reason she did that was to save Lizzie from the academy, because before Charlotte had to leave the academy to take care of her mother, Anton would force her to play the cello perfectly through practice, and if she made a mistake, would get his assistants to essay her until she reached what he called the perfection, which is performing a piece perfectly. And Charlotte didn't want Lizzie to have to go through this and knew the only way Lizzie could possibly get out is if her hand became obliterated, because Charlotte knew that she was brainwashed just like she was. Anton then forced